We just started tearing this down on this 6.7. It's a 2021, 85,000 miles. We had blow-by in here, but it won't fire up. And we've got fuel to the rail, the high pressure rail. We've got an engine here that I'm gonna guess. We're gonna rip it out, we'll tear it down. We're gonna find out this is the 5th gen 6.7, so this has got the roller cam in it. I'll bet you we're gonna find a hole in a piston.
If this is what your piston looks like, you're screwed.
So Alejandro, what do we want to look for if we got a hole in a piston? Why would a hole get in a piston?
Fuel injector.
Right. So we want to be very wary of that when we pull this down. If we find a burned hole in a piston, you know, obviously we're going to send the injectors out, but we want to make sure whatever's going through those injectors, the fuel system, isn't contaminated. And if it is, we definitely want to deal with that. So follow us along. We'll see what we got.
Alejandro, have you heard the story on this one?
Not really.
You had employees that were driving this thing and they were just idling at the job site. There was some racket coming from the engine and it just stopped, just locked up on them. So they tried some diagnosing in the parking lot. They thought they might have had a frozen fuel filter. They're all the way out in North Dakota. So they replaced it on the spot, no improvement. They had it towed to a local shop. The guy tried turning this thing over by hand and said it was locked up. So pretty sure the batteries are toast and the starter is also bad from trying to crank on it too much.
Yeah. Batteries are toast, already tested them.
Okay.
We're gonna, when we tear it down, we're gonna check the fuel injectors, fuel injection pump, fuel filters to see if we have any contamination and see if we need those parts replaced.
Good job, my man.
Before you pry on the injectors, you gotta remove the injection line going inside the cylinder head. Now we're gonna borescope these holes and see which one failed. This is Super 30, see? Ooh, look at that. Looks new to me.
Looks good.
Yeah, looks normal. Looks like cylinder number 3 took a poop.
5 minutes later.
We got the cab up off this 6.7 and it's pretty obvious what happened here. Let me show it to you. When you see a valve spring, see how all these valve springs are down like this? See how this one's way up top, high like that? See the other ones? That means it's either dropped a valve seat or cut the head right off the top of that valve. So There's the culprit. We'll tear this down, get it out, and find out how much damage it did.
See if it comes out. Try this. Wait a second. The connector out before.
Are you taking photos or filming?
These.
All that I need to do. Believe it or not, you want a really good.
fun stuff we find in the oil pan. Or it can be all good and don't have anything.
What's your guess on it?
Probably have a bunch of metal. Look at that.
No way. Wow, the story just keeps getting worse on this thing. I wonder where this is from. I mean, it's got to be from the piston, don't you think? Oh, there's metal everywhere.
Yeah, there's metal everywhere, but I can't see the top of the piston.
It's going to be interesting to find out how catastrophic this gets. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. These 5th gen Cummins, being an owner myself of one, this scares me with how faulty they are so far. We'll dive into this more. We can ultimately upgrade it, but it'll be interesting to see where all this carnage is coming from.
The Kasha looks fine, at least.
Oh my gosh. We found the 3rd portion of the valve. And look, you can see the connecting rod. You can see right through the piston there, and you can see the connecting rod. Holy crap.
Dude, that's so bad.
That is a crazy failure. This cylinder looks, I mean, fine. That one does. All the other cylinders. We found a ton of debris in the intercooler, turbo, exhaust manifold, all over. This engine has ingested all of this piston valve. Wow. That's one of the reasons with the cylinder head. We've talked a little bit about this before, but Cummins, especially when they're running high EGTs and other things like that, they can have a serious failure with the valve seat, especially in a cabin chassis engine. There's different markings on this intake side. Usually a cabin chassis, you can tell that that's the cylinder head because it shows a 0.7. And usually that's the way that the internals, like the way that the cylinder head flows, it's different than in like a regular pickup truck or marine application or so on and so forth. The cabin chassis has problems dropping valve seats, especially again when you're running high EGTs or having issues like that. So it dropped a valve seat. We got part of the piston that's still hanging on for dear life. And look at that valve. That thing is basically, I'm sure if I whacked it with a hammer, about to come apart.
Oh yeah.
But that valve seat there has dropped out and caused all of that damage. So when we fix these cylinder heads, and I don't even know if this cylinder head is fixable with all this damage, but at least when we build them, we put in valve seats that have a much tighter press on them, so that even if the seats get hot, they're not going to drop, but it's also a different material, so it isn't going to expand and contract like the factory ones do. So we're eliminating this issue by better press, different material. I'm blown away. We don't even see the valve seat anymore. It's probably disintegrated or in a bunch of pieces. Damage like this can happen instantaneously. I mean, you'll be running the engine even at idle, and all of this damage could be seconds. It'll be interesting to see once we get this piston out and look at that cylinder wall. With all that material bouncing around, we might still be able to salvage the engine block. The cylinder head is probably junk, meaning that it's beyond machining. But this engine block we'll see, may still be salvageable. When we have an engine failure like this, the oil cooler gets replaced. Anything that is circulating oil that can't properly be flushed out gets trashed. We can't have it compromise the engine. But I'm curious to see if we can salvage this engine.
Can you get to the rod on it?
Maybe with like a socket and wrench, I could hold that rod. Do that first and try and get that piston out.
Yeah, you could do what I was talking about. See if two bolts and like a big pry bar might give you that leverage.
Okay.
That's weird. You're gonna see, I think, more wear up here because it's kind of pushing that rod down.
Makes sense, yeah. Should I try and get that piston out first?
Yeah, probably. Yep.
Oh,
You busted through it.
jeez, dude.
There it is. It's actually really not really damaged.
Yeah, that's pretty clean.
Still cross hatching. There's some vertical lines and stuff. No like damage to the board.
Out. No crazy grooves. Wild.
No way. Oh yeah, jeez. Oh my gosh. So there's like a steel, a special material, forgetting the name all of a sudden, but there's a special material ring. This is like an aluminum type piston.
Yeah.
And then there's this reinforced, almost like a steel material that goes right there. And so that's what's hung on. And that's why that's still there.
Yeah.
And then this top piston ring, and then the second ring, and then the oil ring. Wow, this thing got hammered.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is pieces of. Maybe the valve seat.
Jammed in there.
Yeah. So hard to make this up. But this will be going on our show and tell rack. If this is what your piston looks like, you're screwed.